Okay, so we're going to talk about hate here.
Oh, wow.
Because people love negative things, right? I mean, you go on the internet is all about negativity, right? So we're going to talk about 5 things that we hate about St. George. And if this really turns you off, then you probably shouldn't move here.
The gloves are off.
Because St. George isn't for everyone, right? Like, it's a wonderful place to live, but it's not for everyone. So we're going to talk about 5 things that we hate right now, so stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sean Dezad.
And I'm Courtney Dezad, and we're with Keller Williams Realty right here in St. George, Utah. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about moving to St. George, Utah and living here, especially as someone who's not from here, press on the subscribe button and then press on the bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video, because we upload new videos every week, twice a week. So yes, do it.
And if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking, oh, wow, Sean, I love St. George. I love the red rocks. I just love the year-round weather. I just can't wait to move out there now, but I'm not there. I don't know anything about it. And I totally get that. That's why you want to reach out to us, because we can be your eyes and ears on the ground. So what you want to do is you want to give us a call, choose a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back. Okay, so first, before we, go on with this video, we want to say that we don't hate living in St. George. We love living in St. George, right?
But there's some, again, with any place, no place is perfect. So we got, again.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to any place, and every place has its own cons, right? So we're just trying to help you figure out, are the cons of St. George cons that you can't handle?
Can you overcome them?
Can you overcome them? Because, maybe there's another place that has different cons, and you're like, okay, those are more what I can handle. Or you'll hear these cons and you're like, you know what? It really doesn't matter to me. Like, that's not going to bug me at all.
For sure.
So that's why we're doing this video. We're not doing it to bash on the place that we live, because we love living here.
Yes.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is we do hate the heat in the summer. And we do harp on this a lot. But it's not just us. I mean, one of my, daughter, one of her really good friends on the soccer team, her mom is from St. George, born and raised here. And she's like, I hate the heat. She's like, every year I dread the summer. And she just she cannot stand it. And, her husband, it doesn't really bother him. He doesn't really care. He actually works outside. So, everyone's different, right?
Yeah, and people handle the heat differently. Some people will sit outside with no shade and all that stuff. And other people stay indoors, turn the thermostat down to 65 and just want to be huddled, just hibernate through the summer to get out of there. Yeah.
And then I will say, it does get super hot here. I will say there are ways to get around it. The mornings, you can...
Definitely more pleasant.
More pleasant in the morning. Not to say that it's a crisp breeze or anything like that. But I'd say until around 11, 12, it's really not that bad.
No.
But then it just starts baking.
And it just keeps piling on. And the nights are very warm too.
Yeah. Although I will say...
When I say warm, I mean hot.
Yeah. I will say when the sun starts going down, it is still hot.
But the sun starts going down at 10?
Well, depending.
The sun seems to go down here very late compared to other parts of the country.
Although right now, I don't know when this is going to be posted, but it's September right now, and the sun is definitely going down a lot, sooner. And, it's still hot, but once that sun isn't baking on you, it's not that bad,
But having said all that, the heat, again, the rest of the year, great. 9 months out of the year, honestly, fantastic weather. Mm-hmm. But those 3 months in the summer,
it's just, it's hot. Awful. Yeah, I hate it. So another thing that we hate about living here, and this doesn't just affect St. George, it's a lot of places in the country, at least right now.
Yeah, and when we say hate, this is just general hate things, not hate necessarily specifically this attribute that only St. George has. It's just the sign of the times.
But I feel it's exacerbated here because it is a smaller population, and that there is a worker crisis here, right? It's hard to find employees. A lot of times you go to a store, for example, Sean went with our son, who was doing a daddy son, a date night, right? And they went to Red Robin. And they literally had to wait
over an hour.
Over an hour because they didn't have any employees. There was only one section of the restaurant.
About a third of the store, a third of the restaurant you could actually dine in.
Yeah.
The other 2/3 seemed again there were empty tables because again they just didn't have the staffing. And again you see when you're walking, you'll kind of see hiring signs all over the place. It's just one of those things where again, obviously in the country, we're already dealing with a worker issue. And then obviously, like Courtney was saying, is that we're a little bit more exacerbated here just because, again, it is a bit small. It's a smaller community.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if you're in a larger metropolitan area, maybe you don't feel it as much because people are coming there all the time. And so that you can just sort of like replace all of the workers that you're losing.
Although maybe we might be wrong. Like maybe some people are
true.
saying, yeah, good luck. Like, like let's say in New York, it just might be just absolutely brutal.
Yeah. So if you're from New York and you're watching,
comment below. Like put us in our place. We welcome it.
That's true. But yeah, so it's kind of annoying here, especially, even finding like a gardener, like somebody to help you with your yard, or it's just so hard to find people and they're so busy.
Yes.
And
or to get furniture delivered. Like they're just totally like booked.
And for weeks out. Like they can't find a delivery person. Like that is like, we're dealing with this issue right now. Like they still haven't delivered it because there's nobody running the trucks.
I wouldn't say that they're definitely understaffed. Like,
yes.
So there are people running the truck. It's just that,
it's a long line.
Yeah, there's a wait.
Yeah, it's a wait. So that's just an issue dealing with here.
Yeah.
So another thing that we hate about living here is there is definitely like a lack of options for like restaurants and shopping and even deliveries. Like you can't get next day Amazon. And, it's kind of funny because if St. George were a, bigger population density, we wouldn't have these problems. However, if St. George had that, it was a bigger population density, then St. George wouldn't be what it is, right?
Exactly.
It wouldn't be this cute little town that's just, a slower pace of life. You're enjoying your life here. So that is something that it's like you're trading that for, the shopping here is not that great.
And obviously this can all change because we are the fastest growing population, like metro population in the country. So
but still, I don't think it's going to ever get like
in the millions. No.
It's never going to get like Vegas. I mean, if it gets to like 400,000, I mean.
And that's going to still be a ways away.
Yeah, that's like a ways away. So.
Yeah. So we still a ways away. And so, yeah, you don't have that infrastructure. You don't have all the warehouses because it's not in that artery. Like, fortunately, we're along the 15 freeway, so it's not like we're like off the beaten path or anything like that. And Vegas is only an hour and a half or so away, so it's not like it's that far off. But at the same time, just getting the deliveries here is a bit, again, it's a bit of a logistical issue. So because we're not, again, as populated as some of these big metropolitan areas.
Yeah, and that means we also, we don't have certain stores. Like we don't have Trader Joe's, we don't have Whole Foods,
Nordstrom's, Macy's,
Sam's Club. We don't have.
Yeah, there's just like, again, we do have a lot. Having said that, we do like for our population of Washington County being about 200,000 people. We do punch above our weight class in that we do have a lot of shopping options for this size. So we have Costco's, Best Buys, like lots of Walmart's, Targets, like, Home Depot's, Lowe's, all that. So we have actually a decent amount of stuff, but there are things that we are certainly missing. And again, it makes sense. I mean, not every store can be available for a population of 200,000 people. However, what we do lack in those shopping, dining options.
I know what he's going to say.
We more than make up for in our sheer variety and quantity of soda shops.
Of sodas and car washes.
So if you're like a soda connoisseur or a car wash connoisseur for that matter, you will not find more options that, especially bang for the buck, than here.
For sure. So another thing that we hate about living here is that we're not close to a large airport. I mean, we are close to Vegas, and we actually have another video about this. It's not that annoying going to Vegas, flying wherever you need to go. But, sometimes you kind of wish, you're like, I wish I could just drive 20 minutes to the airport and go where I need to go. I need to go to Dallas. And, we do have an airport here, but I have yet to meet someone who has used it.
The commercial aspect. Like some people have like private planes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But obviously as far as like commercial flying out of St. George to like it's limited, right? We only have, I think it's like
4 flights a day.
Yeah, 4 commercial flights a day, and they're going to Dallas Fort Worth Airport obviously in Texas. We're going to like Salt Lake City. We're going to Denver, and I think we're going to Phoenix. I think that's really the extent of what's flying out of here. So obviously very limited options. And besides the limited options, it's also expensive. It's like 3 or 4 times as much as like flying out of McCarran/Harry Reid Airport in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I would say the expense is probably the thing that keeps most people from not doing it, right?
Well, also the times too. Like, it's like there's only like one flight that's taking you from here to, let's say, Denver. Yeah. So one's going to cost you, but 2, you're like, okay, does that exact time frame for departure and arrival make sense? Does that work for you? Because, if it's not, you're out of luck. But having said all that, again, we hate that we don't have like a large airport here. Again, makes sense for the population, of course. However, what we will say is that at least like McCarran Airport is less than 2 hours away. So it's not like thank goodness it's not way far out there. So it's not that far. And again, it is an international airport. So from there, you can go to pretty much wherever you need to go to throughout the world.
Yeah. I mean, McCarran has like direct flights to like London, Seoul, and South Korea. A couple of other like major destinations. So it's not like, you're close to a big airport, and it's not that annoying. And they do have, shuttles that go down there if you don't want to drive yourself. The parking down there is not that bad. Although, pro tip,
So there's two terminals, Terminal 1, Terminal 3.
Yeah, so if Terminal 1 is where you're flying out of, parking there in terms if you want to get into the structure, if it's really hot, I highly recommend it, but it can get totally like booked out. So what people will do is they'll park in Terminal 3 and then take a shuttle over to Terminal 1.
Especially because you don't want to be like, so you could park in Terminal 1, but you'd be out in the like economy parking lot where you're outside.
Like 117 degrees.
And and Vegas gets hot. So if you want your car baking there for like a week, great, then just leave it there. However, honestly, it's not that much more expensive to have like garage parking.
It's literally $6 a day difference.
So it's way worth it. Your car will thank you to like not have to be like in that beating sun. So I would say the fifth thing that people have kind of referenced to us that they hate about this, about like St. George or like, let's say Utah in general, as far as options, is the fact that there's not many options for alcohol consumption, basically.
Well, I wouldn't say that's Utah. Salt Lake City's like, there's plenty of options for that.
Okay, so for St. George.
For St. George, like, if you are someone who really loves nightlife, St. George's not for you.
Now, we do have a downtown scene that's kind of growing and doing something. There's some breweries. Yeah. There are some like, bars and that kind of thing. Yeah. But it's very limited. Yeah. Especially when you consider that there's actually like a pretty good sized college, like a university right there. Yeah. And the fact that it's still that limited. Like, like again, when you think of any college town, they have their fair share of nightlife and ways to consume alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this isn't to say that you can't, they have breweries here, they have bars here. It's getting bigger, but there's also restrictions on, where you can buy your alcohol. Yeah. And, we have a video about this, but
like as a little rehash, just so you understand, like kind of what you might find like irritating, to say the least, is, okay, you go to a grocery store, they do sell some alcohol, but really it's very watered down alcohol in that it's basically beer.
Well, it's 5% or less.
And basically beer. Yeah. And there's really...
You can have like wine coolers.
Great. So, basically beer. And so if you want anything harder than that, now you're having to go to a state-sponsored liquor store. So there's not like, there's not a bunch of liquor stores like sprinkled throughout, the St. George area where you can just go in at any time and that kind of thing. No, you have to go to these, like, I think there's like about 4 of them last I checked in this area that are, state sponsored. And they have, their hours are kind of limited. Mm-hmm. It's like they are closed, I think, on holidays.
And they are closed on Sundays.
And also they are more expensive because
way more expensive
because they have no competition.
Well, no, because they have a tax. They have a large tax.
And no competition.
It's like 40% tax.
Yeah. So basically, as far as the alcohol part is concerned, now for us, this isn't actually a personal hate because we don't really drink alcohol.
We're very boring people, like so boring.
But this is actually a thing that people have mentioned that is irritating. And if you're like, okay, so it's not like you can't drink here. It's just that you have to like plan it out. Like, okay, how are you going to do it? Like, are you going to a brewery? Are you going to a bar? Or are you wanting to, drink at home or at a friend's house? Okay, well, are you just having beer or are you going to have something harder? And then if you have something harder, you go to that state-sponsored liquor store, or I don't know, like let's say you're having a big party, you're going to Mesquite or something to pick up some stuff.
Yeah, if you're having a big party, people say, okay, then you should just go to Mesquite and get what you need because it'll be a lot cheaper. And also, you can actually go on a Sunday and like, you
exactly.
can buy it.
Yeah, there's other options from that perspective. And unfortunately, Mesquite's like 30 or like 30 to 40 minutes away. So it's not like that far away. Mm-hmm. It's just that you definitely have to plan the things out a little bit more as opposed to if you're coming from a different area where you just roll into the grocery store and just get what you want to get.
Mm-hmm. So that's it. That's our video.
And remember, we are licensed realtors in the state of Utah. So as much as we do love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back.